Previously on the inventory.
Here we are connecting with these humans in a way that's never been done before. Two worlds colliding. Isn't that exciting?
I'm actually afraid of what would happen if we actually found out the Bronies actually contacted us.
Listen, Airwaves, we're the only ones who know about the Bronies receiving our broadcast signal and messaging us. And I say we keep it that way. At least until we know exactly what we're dealing with.
Listen, maybe we should tell the others about this. Keeping us in the dark is only going to hurt us in the end.
And what need have I to create relationships with aliens that silently watch us? What's with you?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Averting your eyes won't hide it. The fact is you're hiding something from me, aren't you? I will find the truth, and you can be sure about that.
Fairytale, if you honestly think some pony's just gonna walk up to you and tell you what you want to hear, then you're even more...
Airwaves, Cece, I don't believe this. More Bronies just sent me messages through the QED.
They what?!
Oh, hi Fairytale.
And now for the continuation of the inventory on KPNY.
This is bad. This is very, very bad.
Curtain call, just calm down. I'm pretty sure we can find a way to...
I can't believe sound effects just came barging into the studio like that. And of course, Fairytale of all ponies had to be right there. I swear next time I see that petty excuse about auto-checked, I'm going to...
There you two are!
Oh, hey, cover story. I suppose you want to talk about the Brony messages.
What were you thinking? How could you keep such a scoop like that a secret? I had to hear about it from Fairytale of all ponies. Fairytale!
Okay, yes, you're right. We were wrong, we suck, and we get it. I'm sorry.
You're sorry? I don't think you quite understand how big of a deal this is. My bosses back at the Manhattan Gazette are in an absolute frenzy. I'm not hearing the end of it. Do you have any idea how much mud I'm getting dragged through right now? Because of your little secret?
Wait, you already told the Manhattan Gazette?
Well, duh, Sherclop. I'm in charge of the story. What else would you expect?
Yeah, but...
Airwaves? It was only a matter of time before this would have gotten out to the rest of Equestria. So what are we going to do about it now?
There's only one thing we can do. We gotta come clean. We have to tell every pony the truth.
Sweet Celestia.
No. This is perfect, actually.
How?
This is the moment I've been waiting for. My big scoop! I'll interview you over a live broadcast. This will be so big. It'll be more than a make up for my past mistakes. Let me go grab my notepad!
Cover story, wait! You're supposed to be presenting.
I'll go get him. You just go get ready. We'll figure this all out after the show, okay?
Okay. Well, hello there, every pony. This is Airwaves, and you're listening to the inventory on KPNY Radio, Ponyville's radio. And if you're not listening to KPNY, then you're probably not listening to the radio.
You know, Airwaves, the signal can be reached to Manhattan as well.
So I've heard.
And so I say greetings to all my fellow Manhattanites. I am Cover Story of the Manhattan Gazette, and I am here once again to share what I have discovered about the Bronies. Specifically, an artist by the name of Muffinshire.
That name makes me surprisingly hungry. Hey, Cover Story. Lunch later?
Sounds good to me, Airwaves. But for now, let's buckle down and get professional.
Yes, sorry. So what makes Muffinshire's artwork so noteworthy?
Well, what stands out to me is the fact that he is quite the multifaceted artist. Muffinshire creates not just standalone art pieces, but also comic strips and even do-it-yourself paper crafts.
How interesting. I'm rather curious on how an artist can end up practicing various different types of crafts.
Well, he started out with making one-shot comics, with this one black and white comic by the name of An Inquisitive Pony. He did it for practice, but it's still very well made. There are no words, but purely uses emotions to make its point.
And from there I can only assume he's improved.
You can say that. Again, like with his first piece, he likes to make comics and artwork that elicits an emotional response. Usually a heartwarming and positive feeling. When browsing through his gallery, it becomes quite apparent that he enjoys showing pairs of ponies interacting with each other, whether it's Final Scratch and Octavia hugging, or the Cutie Mark Crusaders messing around and getting into trouble, you can't help but smile.
Is there a little musical number of a town starting to warm your big city heart there, Cover Story?
I guess you can say that. 2 days ago, I discovered a local arcade. Oh, pure bliss.
The arcade? You told me you were spending your entire day writing an article.
Hey, every pony needs a hobby. Mine just happens to be not working too hard when I don't need to.
So much for getting professional. Now then, you were telling me that Muffinshire mostly dabbled in making comics. What else can you tell me about those?
Well, by far his finest and most ambitious piece is an ongoing title called Twilight's First Day, which is a series about the filly Twilight Sparkle and her family preparing for her first day at Celestia's school for gifted unicorns, which also happens to be her brother's first day as a cadet of the Royal Guard. It follows her day in a bright, light-hearted fashion that you would expect from a filly's point of view. The interactions she has with her brother and the other characters are adorably naive and sometimes mischievous. The comic is still ongoing and the artist still has many plans for it. So now is a perfect time to get caught up.
And I take it it's just as heartwarming as the rest of his works?
Another comic that I couldn't help but love was one titled Vinyl Scratches Glasses, featuring Brony favorites Octavia and DJ Pone 3. He wrote this comic in response to help a good friend of his raise funds for someone who was suffering from Arline syndrome, an eye condition that requires special corrective lenses. With Muffinshire's assistance, the fundraiser reached its goal and later surpassed it. And then any surplus from it was later donated to the Erline Institution, an organization dedicated to curing and assisting others with the condition.
These bronies are starting to impress me more and more. The lengths they will go to spread harmony would even make Princess Celestia proud.
These bronies truly are putting Celestia's greatest teachings and ideologies to heart. They are a prime example of the magic of friendship and harmony that the Princess of the Sun invokes in us all.
Okay, if you say so, Cover Story. Any other comics you would like our listeners to know about?
If there's one more comic that I would like to recommend, it's going to be one titled Hearts Warming Together, a comic about the Great Pegasus Derpy and a little filly apparently named Dinky, who the bronies project as being her daughter.
Wait, does Derpy actually have a daughter?
I'm still investigating that. Anyway, this comic uses just pictures once again to tell its story and fill your heart with emotions. In fact, these comics are so effective in invoking these emotions that our editors have chosen to...
Cover Story? Please, don't.
You can't blame me for trying.
Well, these comics all seem very fascinating. It looks like I have to thank you again for bringing forth another great comic artist.
Well, don't go get ahead of yourself with the congratulations just yet, because there's more.
More?
Muffinshire doesn't just write comics. He also draws independent art pieces, as well as some unique arts and crafts designs.
Well, you heard the pony, so stay tuned, and after the break we'll talk more about the brony artist Muffinshire. But for now, please relax and enjoy a musical break, and a word from our sponsors.
This portion of the inventory was brought to you by...
Hey, do you like muffins? So do I. I can't tell you how much I love muffins. Muffins, muffins, muffins. Go get yourself a muffin today. This airtime brought to you by the Muffins for a Better Life Foundation and Derpy Hooves. How much did you even pay for this spot anyway?
This is your local news at KPNY, and I'm your local correspondent, Press Release. The Draconiquist menace that had thrown Equestria into chaos nearly a year ago has been re-released and pardoned of his previous sins by royal order. What is the meaning behind this controversial decision? Has Discord really been reformed, or is he just misunderstood? Princess Celestia gives no comment. Details at 11. I'm Press Release.
Hey there, Average Pony! Are you tired of the news not giving you all the right information? Do you really want to know what happens within Equestria's borders? Does Celestia really have a fascination with bananas? If you really want to know, subscribe to the Equestria Inquirer today. Please allocate 9 bits for shipping and handling. Welcome back, every pony, to the inventory on KPNY Radio, Ponyville's radio. And if you're not listening to KPNY Radio, then you're probably not listening to the radio. Before the break, I was talking with Cover Story about a multifaceted Brony artist by the name of Muffinshire. Now, Cover Story, you were telling me that Muffinshire didn't just write heartfelt comic strips, but that he also dabbled in some independent works.
Yeah, that's right, Airwaves. You see, Muffinshire takes part in these artist training grounds, which challenges artists to draw a work of art centered around a predetermined theme. Muffinshire has done quite a lot of these and has produced some fun little works, including Idle Pony Revisited, A Pony Under Pressure, and Ponies Staying Up Late, which follows his common theme of ponies interacting and playing off of each other to evoke an emotion. Another amazingly stunning piece is A Pony Moving On, which is a sobering picture of Luna and the almighty Celestia.
So he makes these works of art as training? So he's still trying to improve himself?
Yes, that is technically true, but I feel you're selling him a bit short by saying that. Even these training pieces are amazingly detailed and well colored. They're hardly doodles you'd find in a discarded newspaper.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean for it to sound like that.
Yeah, just remember to stick to the facts next time, Airwaves. Professional integrity is always important.
Hey, I said I was sorry.
You can definitely tell that Muffinshire carries a sense of professionalism and integrity in his art pieces, considering lately he has done a number of commissions for charity.
That's pretty amazing, actually.
Yes, Airwaves, I would have to say that he is a very upstanding Brony in my book. Now, if I may, there is one more thing I would like to cover when it comes to Muffinshire.
Seriously? What else can this Brony do?
Recall earlier I mentioned that he also makes paper crafts. Bronies can go to Muffinshire's gallery and print out pages of paper cutouts that can be put together to form these three-dimensional models.
That's rather unique. I can't see myself getting into something like that, though. I've never been really good with my hooves.
Well, I put together one myself, and I gotta admit, they make for a fun little afternoon project. Currently he has 4 paper craft models to choose from so far. The first is a hanging mobile, resembling Rainbow Dash's historical Sonic Rainboom at the Best Young Flyers competition.
It continues to haunt me.
Oh, sorry about that, Airwaves. Just getting the facts out there. Next, he also has 3 pony models you can choose from. The sinister changeling Queen Chrysalis, that evil, deplorable tyrant Nightmare Moon, and my personal favorite, the glorious Princess Celestia.
Okay, Cover Story, I'm sorry, but I gotta ask.
Ask what?
You keep praising Princess Celestia, and I mean, I know she's our ruler and she controls the sun and all, but the way you talk about her sometimes seems a little much.
Was I? I guess old habits are hard to break. Let's just say I'm an old Celestia fan and leave it at that for now. Let's just keep it strictly business, please.
Alright. I guess you have a point, and I'm sorry for prying. Anyway, is there anything else you would like to mention about Muffinshire? I'm almost expecting murals at this point.
No murals yet, I'm afraid. I've just about covered all the basics. Comics, training art, even arts and crafts. Muffinshire has something for every pony. Which is why I implore our listeners to give him a good look over.
I'm sure they will, Cover Story. And thank you again for another thorough and informed look into the Brony art world. However, that's just about all the time we have on our show today. This has been Airwaves on the Inventory at KPNY. Say goodnight, Cover Story.
Good night, Equestria.
That's it?
Yeah, why?
You sure there isn't something else you want to try and say?
No. I think I'm good this time, Airways.
Alrighty then. Till next time, every pony, have a good night.
This is Sound Effects. Yes, that Sound Effects. And this broadcast is brought to you by the Manhattan Gazette Ponyville branch. Pick up your copy today.
So, Cover Story. Between you and me, what's with the Celestia business?
I suppose I ought to tell you, Airwaves. But only because I respect you. Before I became a reporter for the Manhattan Gazette, I actually grew up in Mustanglia. I grew up in a very small, shall we say, old-style community. They called themselves the Speakers of the Sun. For the longest time, we would go around from town to town preaching the good word of Princess Celestia. I think the group was originally founded right after Nightmare Moon's insurrection. It wasn't until I got to explore more of Equestria that I learned to think for myself. I started searching furiously for the truth, and found that facts provided more answers than blind faith. That's how I ended up with my cutie mark. Even still, sometimes my old biases have a tendency to peek through. Can't really change how you were raised, you know?
Wow. I had no idea. Thanks for telling me. I know it really wasn't any of my business.
Yeah, well, in the end, I guess you weren't really the only one keeping secrets. Tell you what. You allow me to interview you over the air, and we'll call it even.
I guess I can't really refuse at this point. Alright, well, I guess it's my turn to come clean as well. Equestria deserves to hear the truth.
And finding the truth is my special talent. You ain't got nothing to worry about.
Why did that only make me feel more worried?
What do you say we go grab that lunch, and we'll talk about it then? Are you still hungry?
Yeah, like a horse.